Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Doctor Who Review, episode 120. Yes, I will be doing Return of Ultraman, probably after all 5 of my remaining anime I have today. Which, the first anime is going to be a new one, and then we have basically 4 of the new stuff, per se, for the current seasons. This one is discussing a story, I kid you not, season 13 of the show. There is one more story left to go for the season, and that is it. Yeah. You're like, really? Yeah, really. Like in the case of the last one I covered from Doctor Who, which was I think it was the Android Invasion was the last one I covered. So, if I remember correctly, that the last one was also 4 parts as well. Though it featured the last appearances of Benton and Harry Sullivan. Yeah, and why in the world these two never brought back afterwards in the show is a complete mystery. Yeah, there has been no explained reason why. Like, in the case of Sullivan, at least he has a reason why, because the actor is deceased. In the case of Benton, I've not heard an official reason why he's ever brought back at all. Yeah, this airs in 1976 of the show. It airs from, the very start of 1976. January 3rd to January 24th of 1976. Yes, written by Robert Baum, which actually is believe it or not, a pen name of, I think it was a couple of people here. Yes, this story in particular is noteworthy for the debut of the Sisterhood of Karn, which of course basically do come back in New Who. Yes, because here's the thing, after this story, they will never ever be seen ever on television ever again. First they made the return in Night of the Doctor, which aired exactly, I kid you not, 36 years after the story aired. Yes, and then they popped up for a couple stories for the Pierre Capaldi Doctor. I think they appeared one more time after that, and another short, and that's been it for Sister of the Karn. As for why they're brought back, well, maybe to celebrate 50 years of Doctor Who the heck knows. So, we have some stuff happening here. We have this Doctor named Sauron trying to make parts for his own monster. The story itself is loosely inspired by Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with the whole creation thing. So, the story has the Doctor and Sarah crashing on basically landing on a planet, the planet of Karn, which, by the way, Doctor thinks Time Lords basically are interfere with him once again, because they did the same thing in the previous season show with the very popular classic Doctor story, the Genesis Daleks. He thinks it happened again, but there's been they don't physically appear in the episode. No Time Lords aside from Doctor and Morbius, which they do explain was a renegade Time Lord who was executed for being a genocidal lunatic. Yeah. Now here's the thing, as for what the guy looked like, they're not very clear, because when we later see him in the story, he's a brain in a jar. Yes. So oh yeah, he says something like, oh yeah, and then he gets knocked out. He said, oh, he's a Time Lord. And that's Karn basically learn about their fling going down. They do not know what the heck the thing is. When Doctor sees, like, oh, that's actually natural. That's not magic. That's natural. So he just, later on, he just takes a stick of his hair, lights on fire, throws it in, and bam, it takes a little bit, but the flame comes back, no problem. And that happens, like, very late in the story. Because the set for this place actually looks really good. It's like, yeah, the episode's a bit low budget, but at least it looks like they actually spend time on the actual sets. They look actually pretty decent. Like, in the case of Sister Karn, they basically look like they're inside of a very maintained cavern. And it's like a mad scientist lab we have with... Sorry. Excuse me. Yeah. So, throughout the first half of the story, someone wants the Doctor's head to be the replacement for Dr. Meebos. Because, fellow Time Lord, you're in society. He's like, I don't care about my appearance. I just want to basically move out of this particular place. So I think, what about the whole artificial brain container, which he's against at first, but then he relents and puts him in the jar. And before he puts him in, the jar that his brain currently is in falls over because the assistant is an idiot. Brain drops on the floor. You think, it's damaged. Not really. They put it in the jar, but it wasn't actually finished, so he starts walking around, acts like a crazy lunatic, and assuming they're going to basically destroy it. Nope, he basically fixes it, and his brain worked perfectly fine. And also, Soren himself is killed in the story. His assistant is killed by Dr. Meebos too. And the sister was like, no, of course, they thought he was dead. And they finally realized, he's actually alive. Somehow. They mentioned his body was disintegrated, but yet his brain remained, which is not exactly clear how he got his hands on the brain. So, also this creature has the arm of his assistant who he had to take for some reason. It's like he really wanted that left arm for so badly, so he took his arm from his assistant and gave him a hook. He's like, give your arm back. Not really. So, eventually they move around. There's also a bit of gas here, used to basically take out the Doctor, the Soren himself. It's a quite interesting story, and then of course then we have a very controversial scene. The mind-bending, which is basically like a wrestling match, where this particular scene here was the loose inspiration for the Timeless Child retcon. A retcon no fan wanted. And everybody has pointed out, though, that Chris Chibnall was a complete idiot doing this retcon. And you're like, just a reflection of it. Yeah. The fact that he got a lot of flack for Timeless Child. Because there's these, 6 doctors that came from Willie Hartnell. And some can, those faces belong to Morbius. Even though they came from Doctor's head. Yeah, it's not very clear. I'm of the opinion, the theory that those faces belong to Morbius because he's also Time Lord too. I'm thinking those are his faces, not the Doctor's. I have never bought into the theory those faces belong to Doctor at all. Because it kind of screws up the numbering of how many actors have played the Doctor. Which, of course, Chris Chibnall has ruined that with basically the Fugitive Doctor and other stuff. Though, one Doctor had a reason for his existence. Not in the case of Fugitive Doctor. It's just, in the case of that one, I kind of thought this was Chibnall wanted to have a black woman be a Doctor. Yes, a black woman. Very happy about Doctor, 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker. But nope, he had to basically do a black female Doctor known as the Fugitive Doctor, which I personally do not count her as part of the numbering. I think she's a alternate version of the character. And it's kind of similar vein to the Vanguard. Or that this particular thing here, I think this is either... It's probably not Prime Timeline Doctor. I think this face belongs to Morbius. But in the case of the other ones they've had, War Doctor, In Between Doctor, because we never did clearly see Paul McGann regenerate into Chris Eccleston. So War Doctor is easy fit as the In Between Doctor, because maybe there was a brief reincarnation, which could explain a lot of the old trauma stuff. But what happens to Morbius himself? Well, the Sisterhood of Karn shoves him off a cliff. And it looks like he dies. Now, when I originally watched the story of Daily Motion, that's where the video ended. With him falling off the cliff. I couldn't see the last few minutes because the ending of this episode, afterwards, I never saw before at all. Because I originally watched this on Daily Motion originally. I currently watch on Tubi. But It is a good story. It's quite interesting. It's not terrible. I've never heard of this one referred to as one of the bad Doctor Who's classic Doctor Who stories. Not really. It's just a bit controversial because of one scene. But it's still a good story overall, and I do have one more story left to cover for season 13. I'll probably cover eventually. I probably won't cover right now. But there's still one more show left to go for season 13, and that is the Seas of Doom. And afterwards, I'm done with season 13, which is the second season under Tom Baker. Also, I thought that was 6 done for the series. Slight correction with that, because I officially got done 11, 12. Actually, it was 7, 11, 12. Yeah, 7, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21. So officially, as of this moment, I have finished up not 6 seasons, but actually 9. Which, since there's 9, which means I have 17 seasons left to go. But looking at basically, some seasons don't have that much left to go, so I finish it pretty quickly, hopefully. I may not get back to it. I may not get a chance to review Doctor Who today. At some point, I might resume it, but right now I need to go through my 5-minute anime at this Comic Corner and then start up Return of Ultraman. Okay, so that's pretty much that particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, a Comic Corner, and then it's on to a brand new series. Okay, thanks, bye.